Not all NBA players are as good as people hype them up to be. Here are my 5 overrated NBA players in the league this season. Let's start off talking about John Wall. People are probably not going to like this pick, considering once upon a time John Wall was a top 3 point guard in the NBA. Now he's just hurt all the time. Injuries play a part in John Wall's performance, and luckily for the Washington Wizards, he's done for the season. They have a chance to sort things out with their organization, hopefully, and trade some guys here and there and try to make things work, because on paper, I've said this multiple times before now, the Washington Wizards should be a contending team for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference, but they currently are not. The past 2 seasons, John Wall has played 41 games, and this season only 32. The argument people would make is he's scoring still 20 points per game, but the Wizards aren't winning, and he's not being a leader for the Wizards. A lot of people feel like he just doesn't care anymore after getting that max contract. The situation isn't like Kemba Walker. His team has talented players on it. There's been a lot of finger pointing towards John Wall, especially last season with Marcin Gortat saying they play better without John Wall. Is he the problem with the Wizards? Hopefully he gets back healthy and starts being the John Wall he was 4 years ago. Next, let's talk about Draymond Green. Fan favorite on the channel. I love talking about Draymond. You would know I'm not the biggest Draymond fan, but that's because I don't see what a lot of other people see in Draymond Green. I don't see this amazing, versatile, all-around player that is the heart and soul of the Golden State Warriors. His best seasons with the Warriors were the time they won the championship and then the time they lost against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So just like John Wall, his best play was 4 years ago. I was especially confused when I saw Draymond Green win Defensive Player of the Year in 2017. That absolutely made no sense to me. Yes, he did lead the league in steals that season with 2 steals per game. When I ever bring up his stats, I get people saying, oh no, it's the eye test, it's the little things he does, the intangibles that doesn't show up in the box score. Well, my eyes must be broken, I must be colorblind or something, because you're seeing orange and I'm seeing black and white. I feel like the steals per game is a little inflated, considering he wasn't getting steals like Kawhi Leonard defending the guy on the perimeter. He was getting steals by help defense and on the post. While the other Defensive Player of the Year candidate I felt got snubbed was Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert led the league that season in blocks per game. I just don't see it with Draymond Green. I don't see what other people see in him, especially this season. The way he's playing this season is looking like he's going to be traded if Kevin Durant stays. Moving on to Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram was supposed to be this Kevin Durant-esque player coming into the league, or at least that's what all the hype was towards Brandon Ingram in his first few seasons with the Lakers. But ever since LeBron James got there, it seems that he isn't going to be that second option to LeBron James, because right now that guy is Kyle Kuzma, which makes Brandon Ingram pretty much expendable for the Lakers in case they want to trade for another all-star to pair with LeBron James, considering LeBron James, he isn't getting any younger. His timetable to win a championship with the Lakers is 4 years, and is Brandon Ingram going to be that guy in the next few years? Probably not, considering other young players like Jason Tatum are already better players than him, even his teammate Kyle Kuzma as well. How much longer do we have to wait for Brandon Ingram to not just be considered another Andrew Wiggins-esque player instead of a Kevin Durant player? It's not his fault that LeBron James came to LA, but at the same time, I don't think Brandon Ingram will ever be the player that was projected him to be as long as LeBron James is there. At least from what he's shown this season. Maybe he just needs a couple more years to develop, but LeBron James doesn't have that type of time. Speaking of LeBron, let's talk about his banana boat buddy, Chris Paul. He got a max contract in the offseason with the Houston Rockets, playing until he's like 35, 36 years old. Getting max money is kind of crazy, especially because Chris Paul has already started to decline. Not to mention, he seems to always be injured at the worst possible times. This season, being injured until the end of January, so to say. And while he's out with injury, his teammate James Harden is balling out of his mind. James Harden doesn't need Chris Paul. It's been shown the past 3-4 seasons as a Rocket. When he needs Chris Paul is in the playoffs, when he can't do it by himself and he gets blocked by a 40-year-old Manu Ginobili. But come playoff time, especially looking at last year, Chris Paul was nowhere to be found when they were up against the Warriors and possibly could have won a championship last year. The contract was a mistake for the Rockets, and because of that contract, you have to judge Chris Paul as a max player, and the truth is, he's just not that player anymore. Last but not least, Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors. I know This one is probably going to offend the most amount of people, considering Raptors fans, they love every single player. Siakam's an all-star, future MVP. Kyle Lowry as well, deserving of an all-star starter spot. So having him on a list like this, I must not know anything about basketball. But trust me, I know, I make these NBA videos and I see the comments. My comment sections are overhyping Lowry to the moon. Honorable mentions go to Luka Doncic and Derrick Rose, but just like Chris Paul, it's his decline year, and I know what you're going to say. The team doesn't need him to be an amazing scorer. They have Kawhi Leonard for that already. He's doing what the team needs. Look at the amount of assists he's making. I get it. The Raptors are a regular season team that are amazing each and every single year for the past few years now. I'm not saying the Raptors are bad. I'm not saying Kyle Lowry's bad. I'm just saying Kyle Lowry isn't this mega star. Replace Lowry with a guy like Mike Conley, Kemba Walker, any other solid point guard, and the Raptors will be just fine without Kyle Lowry, if not maybe even a little bit better. So those are 5 players I feel are overrated this season. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a like, share the video around, check out some of these other videos on screen, subscribe for more amazing videos like this one to strike up emotions, hopefully positive, but if it's negative, you know, the video is done when it's done. Thank you for watching.